we've got our custom main staircase in the house finally. This used to be a spiral staircase from the 70s. Pretty cool back then, not so much now. So what we did was had a welder in town, gave me a bid to use 8 by 4 inch tube steel and run these two big beams up. Here was kind of a unique scenario. We had this big opening. We didn't want the stairs to cut through a lot of this, so we needed to bring kind of a landing out. But the other problem is the ceiling is sloped, so we had to find a balance between not impacting our walkway into the kitchen and also not bumping your noggin on the ceiling on your way down. So we've got about a 5-foot landing. This is all gonna be 2-inch white oak, and we're gonna run them all the way up, and the landing is also gonna be 2-inch white oak. Pricing for this particular project, I bid it with a company called ViewRail. They were gonna do one of their flight systems. Very, very nice company. I've used them on a lot of jobs, really high-end stuff. It came back at about $22,000 for this one stair assembly. A little out of the price range for this particular budget, but I had a plan. So then we went to our local welder and thought, let's piece this in together ourselves. So with him just doing the brackets and the structure, it was about $8,500. Us piecing together cable railing is gonna be, for materials, about $800. Labor, another $1,500. So we're into this whole thing just north of $10,000. Stair treads are gonna be another $4,000. So about $14,000 all in, as opposed to about $22,000 through ViewRail. Just seemed like a no-brainer. Really happy with how it turned out. And they were local, and it was about a 3-week turnaround. Just finished these stairs. It was a lot of fun to build these. We priced white oak, solid 2-inch thick treads. Came back at like $7,200, mainly because that big landing up there. That seemed a little high, a little over budget from what we set out to spend. So then we tried a similar wood, because remember our floors are white oak. We can't get too different with the color and the grain. So we tried birch, just as expensive. I don't know how hard it is to grow birch trees around here. Very difficult. So white oak, birch, threw that out the window. So what we did was we found white oak, hardwood, and we made these butcher block style. But all this came in at about $2,100. So we saved a substantial amount, and I really like the look. I like the mitered corners. I like how it comes together. There's no polyurethane on it, but once we get it on there, I'll bet you it looks exactly like these white oak floors. So that came out under budget from when we started by about $2,000, and I'm really happy with the look. We had a lot of fun designing this new set of stairs. It used to be a spiral staircase of death, and not acceptable for today's living standards. I don't know how there wasn't little chalk outlines on the floor everywhere from people falling off that thing. So that had to go. We did white oak custom floating stairs. That matches our white oak floors. You'll see a lot of these railings. A lot of people use 1x1 tube. If you're a stair builder, general contractor, or you're doing DIY projects, stop using 1x1 tube. For almost no additional money, you can get a rectangular tube like this. So this is 1.5 by 1.5, and this is 1x2. And what you see is that the top rail sticks out a little wider than the uprights, and it really feels like it's more of a custom railing than like a prefab post that you would buy at a big box store. So really happy. We went with a cable rail, very economical, very safe, looks great. Bang for the buck, you couldn't do any better. Any prefab from anywhere else, no way. 3 coats of water-based polyurethane, and we've got a spectacular custom set of stairs for this beautiful home.